Week 4 previews and analysis, guys, getting into some of these later 4 o'clock games and the primetime games here. And this next video is for the game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. This game will take place in San Francisco, who comes in with a record of 1-2. Philadelphia with a record of 3-0. And to me, the team with by far the most to lose in this game is the San Francisco 49ers. You look at a team that's 1-2, already lost their home opener to Chicago. They now come back home, looking to get back on track, looking to get back to 500 to hopefully springboard them here for the rest of their season. And, for San Francisco, look for a more concerted effort to get Frank Gore and that running game going. Frank Gore, not a very, emotional or a guy that likes to cause controversy, but pretty much had nothing to say to the media last week after I believe he only had 6 carries in last week's game. So look for them to get him more involved. All right, and I think at this point in Kaepernick's career, they still need to establish the run for him to be efficient. I don't think he's the kind of guy yet that can drop back and throw the ball 40, 45 times in a game and him be the reason why you win with his arm. Obviously, we've seen what he can do with his legs over the years and really take over games, but I think that all starts with that running game, and in this case with Frank Gore and Carlos Hyde in particular. The defense of San Francisco. Look, I think where they're vulnerable at times is in the secondary. I don't think that's a good thing now when you're going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, certainly. But where I expect them to be able to take even more advantage than other teams is the fact that the Eagles' offensive line is banged up, as we know. Lane Johnson is serving the last game of his 4-game suspension, as we know. So, from a running game standpoint, LaShawn McCoy hasn't really been able to get going. I don't think he starts to get going this week with this particular matchup. I think if there's any advantage that Philadelphia has, as they have pretty much every week, is Sproles and McCoy coming out of the backfield as receivers on some of these 49ers linebackers. We'll see if Nick Foles can expose those weaknesses here. Nick Foles, I know they're 3-0, and I know his stats always look really good. I thought last week was his best game. There's some of the first 2 games he didn't look great, but definitely an encouraging sign. Against a Redskins defense that's not that great, but nonetheless, he did show out pretty well. Look for San Francisco to try to be physical with these Philadelphia receivers, with Riley Cooper and Jeremy Maclin and Jordan Matthews and company. How do they respond to that? And for me, for both defenses, how do they guard the tight end? I think that's going to be a huge factor in this one. San Francisco in particular, we know they like to use the tight end in their offense. Are they able to do so effectively? Is Philadelphia able to get any pressure on Colin Kaepernick? It's not a defense that gets after the passer very well. Remember, they let up 34 points, okay, to Washington last week, and Kirk Cousins, who looked very bad on Thursday night. So that's something to keep in mind here about that Philadelphia defense. I think they're the weak link in this game as far as units go. I don't think that San Francisco defense is great, but I think their run defense is very good, and I think that will be enough to sort of curtail where Philadelphia doesn't score 34, 37 points on them. So the Philly defense is the unit I worry about. And also, you have to factor in motivation and the team that needs the game the most and the team that's desperate. And by far in this one, guys, this is San Francisco. So Chip Kelly and Jim Harbaugh, certainly no strangers. I like San Francisco minus the 4 at home to beat Philadelphia. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Be sure to subscribe. Couldn't do it without you subscribers. Thanks as always. Enjoy week 4, and I'll be at you with the remaining previews from this week here in a little bit. Thank you.